Good day, my name is Angelo. This is Nation's Voice Tower, your most preferred YouTube channel. How have we been? As for we over here, we've been doing perfectly alright. I will go straight to the matter at hand as usual. Due to lots of involvements of many political figures in Nigeria in the just concluded elections, especially in the negative aspect of the elections, talking about ethnic bigotry, politically incited brutality, and all that. Lots of names were involved during the EU report, and lots of people, lots of dignitaries, both monarchs and religious leaders and political leaders alike, had their names mentioned, and some of them were given visa bans in various countries like the US and the UK, or various big cities in the world. To that effect, I have an expose that these people thought we wouldn't know, but we know now. Yes, so we'll expose it. Please, I have an expose that has come up to reveal that Oba Oniru of Iruland and Oba Elegushi of Ikate, Elegushi Kingdom, have allegedly been banned from entering the United States over alleged negative involvement in the 2023 general elections. All right, that is very funny because they thought we wouldn't know, and they thought we wouldn't get to have a grip on the information that they have been banned. But I will reveal something after this expose. Please stay tuned. The 2023 general elections was marked by political irregularities, electoral irregularities, political bigotry, political brutality, and lots of politically incited violence that took the most part of the political periphery in Nigeria at the time. One region in Nigeria that recorded a high level of ethnic bigotry and political violence at that time of the election was Lagos State, far away southwest. In Lagos State, as a result of all the activities that took place on election day, lots of names were mentioned as to who were responsible both directly and indirectly for lots of brutal attacks and lots of politically incited statements and politically incited operations that took place during that time in Lagos State. Lots of dignitaries were mentioned and linked to some of these operations, some of which were placed on a ban by the United States, some were placed on a ban by the UK and other relevant countries as a result of their negative involvement in some of these politically incited operations. To that effect, lots of people in Lagos State got implicated by making their involvement direct or indirect in all these occurrences. Oba Abdulwasiu Omobolahan Lawal, a former aide-de-camp to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who was threatening voters during the 2023 presidential elections, has been banned from entering the United States of America. Also banned is Oba Saheed Ademola Elegushi, who was also a senior special assistant to Tinubu and who was almost famous for his involvement in lots of occurrences during the electoral period in 2023, has also been put on a watch list and a ban list from the United States. Oba Elegushi allegedly owns numerous houses in Atlanta, Georgia, and New York, respectively. These two monarchs, who are actually die-hard supporters of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, received their letters of visa cancellations and ban last week. Their involvement in electoral violence cannot be overemphasized. In the latter, they were accused of threatening democracy. Alright, welcome back. If you remember so well, that was the expose about Oba Elegushi of Ikate, Elegushi Kingdom, and Oba Oniru of Iruland. Now, let's take a brief step back. From the expose, you heard that they are both very close allies of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. In case you don't know, Oba Elegushi, that is the Oba Elegushi of Ikate, Elegushi land, or Elegushi Kingdom, was a former special assistant to Bola Ahmed Tinubu while he was governor from 2003 to 2007. And then while Bola Ahmed Tinubu left government and then gave way to Babatunde Fashola, who came after him, the same Oba Elegushi still was retained as now SSA, that's Senior Special Assistant on programs to Governor Babatunde Fashola at that time. All right, and then that is that. But for Oba Oniru, who is quite older, Oba Oniru of Iruland, from 1999 to 2002, he was the ADC to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and also when the government changed, he became the Senior Special Assistant on projects from 2008 to 2011 to Babatunde Fashola. And then while Fashola left office, he later held up the position of Commissioner of Agriculture 2 times under Fashola's regime and under the regime of Akinwumi Ambode, and he later was the Commissioner of Housing from 2011 to 2020. So these people are very close allies of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and from their involvement in this, that means really what they did during the elections has caught up with them. It will continue to catch up with few politicians as time goes on. But kudos to the UK and the US for boldening their step to really make sure that those who undermined democracy in Nigeria are put to the public knowledge, or are put or are brought to book. Let me use that word. Yes, secondly, it's been trending for the past few minutes how minority party senators challenged the Senate President Godswill Akpabio during the Senate minority leadership vote. Now, most notably amongst those who challenged the Senate President was Senator Dr. Tony Nwoye of the Labour Party, representing Anambra East-West Federal Constituency. Now, he challenged the Senate President Godswill Akpabio during the minority leadership electoral process, and he felt that the electoral process was being undermined, and he complained in a very, very serious manner. He felt that the minority leadership was being appointed instead of being voted for, and he had to speak up. These people are the kind of people we need in this country as lawmakers. Please stay tuned for the video.
That is not the position. Are we your slaves? The way you are elected was the way you were elected. Are we your slaves? How else you can suspend me here? Are we your slaves? Every time you keep on picking leadership for us. We are not your slaves. Whether you like it or not, the way you are elected was the way we are elected. We are not your slaves. The way you are elected was the way we were elected. How else you can suspend me? You have done your worst, Mr. President. What do you mean by that? You have done your worst. You have done your worst. You have put us to the wall. Thank you. Yes, we'll start with that. Meaning what? Meaning what? Meaning what? Meaning what? It's unfair. It's unfair. It's not about me, it's not about any person. It's about the institution of Senate. Thank you, sir. Meaning what? Every time people give me tomorrow, they want to contest election. They want to win us. He's putting us. God told me that they will run the court. He brings over the police as part of them. Give a couple, give a couple, give a couple. He's not that easy. Give a couple to not about them. Listen. Let's go see him. Let's go see him. Yeah. Everyone. Everyone. Come. Everyone. Lead us. Let's go.
All right. Yeah, lawmakers everywhere, truthful ones and fake ones. There are people who don't even say anything in that house until the 10th assembly goes off. But these people would continue to be ghost senators until well, they begin to speak up. But kudos to Dr. Tony Nwonye there, who had it behind his mind to really speak up to the Senate President fearlessly and courageously to make sure the right thing is done. Because over time, if you notice, they have been involving a sort of high political play in this minority leadership nomination of votes that has been taking place over the past three assemblies. Okay, but this time around, you will noticely, or you would you purposely notice that Godswill Akpabio was trying to, play it in such a way that they want to have somebody at their beck and call as the minority leader, so that things will be going smoothly to their bidding. But kudos to Dr. Tony Nwonye for being outspoken. I hope his corrections are being noted there with no grudges. Finally, a pro-democracy group in Nigeria, alongside other pro-democracy groups, have faulted the judgment of the appeal court, the same judgment that sacked the present governor of Kano State, Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, also known as Abba Gida, the governor that emerged from the New Nigerian People's Party, which happens to be the People's Choice. But this time around, this pro-democracy group, in conjunction with other groups, have come out to floor the judgment of the Court of Appeal. They feel that that particular judgment was biased. Please stay tuned for the pro-democracy groups.
A system that empowers the citizens to choose their leaders through free and fair elections, ensuring that their voices are heard and their rights protected. Therefore, any decision that undermines these principles must be scrutinized and questioned. The Nigerian people have spoken and have chosen Governor Abba Yusuf to lead Kano State. We must respect their choice and ensure that Governor Abba Yusuf is reinstated as Governor of Kano State immediately. We call upon the Supreme Court to uphold its ruling in the case of the Vice President and to overturn the Court of Appeal's judgment on the Kano governorship election. We also call upon the National Assembly to pass legislation that will ensure that the courts have the sole authority to decide on pre-election matters. We also call upon the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to immediately conduct a fresh governorship election in Kano State. This is the only way to ensure that the will of the Kano people is respected. We cannot allow the will of the people to be trampled upon. We must stand up for democracy and for the rule of law. We call upon all Nigerians, regardless of political affiliation, to join hands and stand united against any form of injustice or manipulation of our democratic system. The strength of our democracy lies in the collective power of the people. Together, we can ensure that the voices of ordinary Nigerians are heard and that their rights are protected. Furthermore, we urge the government to take proactive measures in addressing the concerns raised by this judgment. It is crucial for our leaders to demonstrate their commitment to the principles of democracy, transparency, and accountability. Only through open dialogue and genuine efforts to address these concerns can we restore faith in our institutions and move forward as a nation. The Coalition of Civil Society Organizations and Pro-Democracy Organizations wants to reiterate the urgency of the situation at hand. The Court of Appeal's judgment on the Kano governorship is highly unacceptable to Nigerians. We must therefore rally together as one Nigeria to demand accountability and justice. Let us stand together in solidarity and uphold the principles that form the bedrock of our democracy.
All right, pro-democracy groups there. Well, the truth is, Abba Kabir Yusuf seems to be the people's choice, but I don't know on what basis the Court of Appeal sacked him. All right, because as far as I'm concerned, there were discrepancies in the court proceedings in Kano State. So I don't know why the Court of Appeal sacked him. But I hope he goes to the Supreme Court and I hope he gets justice, because from the protest we saw a few days ago, the people of Kano State are not happy with the way their governor or their choice was sacked. So we hope to see that if it's the people's choice, we will see it at the Supreme Court, because he owes to learn his lessons from other states right now. All right, the APC, I have told you countless times, is trying to take over or is trying to become relevant in the Nigerian political space, and they want to acquire or they want to take over that political space that PDP has occupied over time. With doing this, I think they will be able to take over the country for a long period of time. But this is a political, a political war ground where there are lots of political parties in play. So we shouldn't allow Nigeria to become a one-party system. I believe you enjoyed our updates together. Please like our videos, share them. Don't forget to drop a comment for us in the comment section. Please watch till the end, because all these things you do are part of YouTube regulations and they used to make us go viral. See you next time. Bye.